Hello, welcome to podcast number 26 of the Noninkables podcast, episode 26. This is taking me a couple times to record. House is just very noisy. The dog, the baby. Anyways, this past weekend was the last weekend of set champs for Brian and and I was finally able to get a mat. And it feels like a repeat of set three where I won the championship mat and Brian pulled an enchanted from the packs. So crazy, crazy. We will talk about that. And I think the team is no longer on a team deck at all. We're all playing different colors. Even Gary is maybe not going to play red, blue. So Tyler's still undecided. I'm playing probably the set champ deck that I played. That's definitely off meta. And so we're still workshopping. I don't know if I'm going to share my deck list because I'm still working on it and I might play it in Seattle. And so I want people to be surprised. Anyways, so this past week has been super, super busy for work. I have had like no time to practice. And then on Friday, I went to our normal DVY constructed. It was only 6 people. Brian didn't even go. And so it was 3 rounds. And I played red, blue, and I got my butt whooped. I lost all 3 rounds, so I was in the bottom, last place. Woohoo! I think maybe I'm gonna check. I don't even think I won like one game. Let me check. Let me just check. Let's see. DVY. My final record 060. I got 2-0'd by 3 different red purples. So that was fun. And like the people I played, some of them are a little newer to the game. Like they joined set 4. I think everyone joined before set 5. Maybe they joined set 5, but like they're newer to the game. And so it's not like I was playing against super good people and I lost. Like I was just playing against regular, normal people and I lost. It was bad. And then I was like, oh, I was losing my mind. I was like, I don't want to play this. And then let's see. Then Saturday I was so on the fence Saturday because I was like, do I go to King Kong? Because so Saturday night I had to work a night shift. So I was like, do I go to King Kong in the morning because it starts at 9:30 and I'll probably be done? Or do I go to Destine, which starts at 11? And like I was totally gonna go to King Kong. I woke up early and then I was like, oh, I don't want to go. It's too early. And so I canceled my King Kong one. I ended up choosing to go to Destine. Destine is a store that we haven't been to. It's in Alameda. It's super cute. So I feel like normal game stores are kind of like very decorated by a boy, I would say, or not decorated at all. And Destine, I wouldn't say it's like super decorated, but they had like stickers that are really cute and like keychains of like One Piece and Pokemon and like Squishmallows. And so I was like, oh, I want to buy stuff. So it was more like if you go to like a cute Asian stationery store or like a Hello Kitty store, like Sanrio or something, it was more of like, and more cute stuff in addition to all the like card stuff. So Destine ended up being not it was the first set champs we played in that was only went to top cut for top 4, so smaller than all the other ones we had been to. And a bunch of people who I think are in a practice group with Ed were there. So Ed who won Texas. So we saw Judy and Edmund there, which we knew we were going to see because they had some Annas they had borrowed for Texas from us. So they were returning them. So I was like, well, at least one of us has to go to Distinct because we need to get the cards from them. And so Brian played green steel. I played red blue. First person I matched up to was Edmund. So not Ed, Texas Ed, but Edmund, married to Judy. I feel like every single store we go to, there's like 3 Nicks, 3 Kevins, bunch of Eds. And so it's confusing. So Edmund, I had played him in set 4 championships at King Kong, and he was playing blue steel. We went to turns for the last game, and I like got nervous because there were so many people around and it was turns, everyone was watching, and I like forgot he had played another item, so you could just quest Potomato and win. And so I misplayed and totally lost. I don't know if I would have won had I not done that misplay based on what I think he had left in his hand, but it was like a very good learning thing for me to like work on not getting stressed out when the entire competition is watching. And so I played against Edmund and he was playing red purple, so I was already like, oh no. I played red purple on Friday and just got whooped, and I continued to get whooped. And it felt very much like when I had played the other Ed set beginning of set 4 and he was playing red purple and I was playing blue red, and this Ed also had all the cards. He had all the ink, way more than me, even though I'm the ramp deck, because I didn't see a single hero for I think like a whole game. I drew so poorly. And then I was just like, oh, I don't know about this deck. So bad. It was like 4 consecutive round losses to red purple where I get O2'd. And then like it was worse than when I was playing items. I felt like because in items I was playing Gaston, it like wasn't as bad. And really thinking back on like the matches from Friday and that match, like the thing that took me out wasn't even Flynn. It was the locations. So on Friday, I was playing a slightly different version of the deck. I was trying out like a more aggro version. So it had Queen of Hearts. And then I had forgotten that like Brian had changed my deck to had Cusco instead of Hideaway. And so then every time a castle came out, I couldn't deal with it for many turns. And that was just killer. So then by Saturday at Justine, I was back on to no Queen of Hearts and with Hideaway. And I thought maybe it would fare better. It did not. And then the second round, I matched against Ibai, who I played at VPC. At VPC, I was playing items. He was playing red blue, and we had Drew. In the first game, I had drawn the 4 big Sisus, and then 3 Maurice's workshops, and then a lucky dime. So I couldn't ink, and so I lost. And then the second game, I had won. And so this time we played, and let's see, I ended up he ended up winning 2-1. I think we went to turns, and it's just like my draws were very bad. Like, where's Hiram? There was no Hiram in my deck. It was so weird. Like the one game where I did get Hiram, I won. And then the game I didn't win. And so it was very, very, I was like, I don't like this like difference. I don't like this luck so heavily relying on just Hiram. So then by then I was like thinking maybe I should play Chicha. Maybe I should go back to items. Maybe I should add a Maurice's Workshop as like a just in case. I had tested a version of the deck with Develop Your Brain just to get some more like consistency, and I don't know, I was losing my mind. And then the third round, Brian and I matched up against each other. And then we were both like, okay, we're not going to make to top 8 or top 4 at this point. Like we've lost 2 rounds. Do you want to just drop and then maybe go eat? And then we're like, well, maybe I could make it because I think I had slightly better tiebreakers because I'd played Ed, who was undefeated. And so I was like, okay, maybe we should just play it out. So we played it out. He played green steel. I played red purple. I beat him, which is pretty similar to what had been happening at home when we were practicing anyways. And then after that, we like did some math, and I was like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna make it to top 8, like based on how everything else worked out. I think looking back at the points though, maybe if I had one, I could make top 8. But I was like, you know what? I have work tonight. Do you want to just drop and then we'll go get food? And so we dropped, and I went and got boba and McDonald's, and then I went to work. And then at work I was like freaking out. I mean, work was kind of busy also. And then when it wasn't busy, I was like texting around. I was like, I don't know if I want to play this anymore. And so then he was just sending me like different, I think I was like, I think I just for because we had another set champs on Sunday, and I was like, you know, I think for set champs, I just want to play something fun. I don't want to play red blue. I don't know what I'm going to play for Seattle. I'm having a crisis. Maybe I'll just play something fun. And so he sent me a couple decks to try out. I tried out a brooms deck because I thought that would be fun. But then like I was so tired, I couldn't tell the brooms apart. I was like, wait, is this the broom with rush? Why is this one 1/5? And like they all look so similar. And like normally like the Madam Mims, you're like, oh, Madam Mim Fox, Madam Mim Snake. It's very easy to tell them apart. But the brooms are like what Lively, Sweeper, Swiffer, or whatever. And it's like very hard to tell apart. So the only ones that I can remember are like the 1 cost broom, which is like baby broom, and then the crop top broom, which is that like 6 cost broom. And it has like the little breastplate, but it's like on a long handle. And there's a tiny breastplate. So it looks like it's wearing a crop top. So those are like the only 2 brooms I can confidently identify, know what they are and what the stats are. So I was like, I can't play this boom deck. So then I was trying some other stuff, and then I ended up deciding to play this off meta deck, which I'm not going to share in case I played in Seattle. I want you guys to be surprised, but I was like, I'm going to play this. This is fun. I don't know what's happening. Every single turn I have to like figure out what to do. This will be interesting. So, and I was on like 1 hour of sleep at that point. So we went to DVY, and the turnout ended up being, at first it was sounding like the turnout was going to be like 9 people. And I was like, oh, this is great. I just have to beat one person to get a card. And then it ended up being 14 people. And it was just a swamp of red blue, or not red blue, of red purples. There were, I think, 7 people playing red purple. And so I was so glad I didn't take red blue because I would have just been crushed. And so luckily, I chose not to do that. Thank goodness. I was like, I'm so happy. And then Brian ended up not taking green steel either. He was playing, oh, I forgot what he played. I think he played like his own homebrew. And then it's funny because everyone expected me to play either items or red blue or red purple, and I was on none of those. So the first, I got a bye, which is amazing because I think there were 14 people registered and then one person didn't show up. And so then I got a bye. And so I was like, oh, great, maybe I can take a nap because I've only had 1 hour of sleep. But I think I drank too much. I had like an energy drink beforehand. And so then I couldn't sleep. So then I was just like scoping around, seeing what people were playing. And I was just like, oh my God, there's so much red purple. So it was out of 13 people, 7 red purples. There was an amber steel. There was a yellow purple hyper aggro. I think there was like a yellow green, I want to say. And then there was like a brooms deck, and then my deck, and then Brian's deck. And so first round bye, awesome. I was like, this is great. This is great for my tiebreakers. Second round, I matched into hyper aggro Cameron, and he had O2'd his last opponent because that guy, I think he said he had like just taken out the hyper aggro tech that he had put in his deck, thinking there wouldn't be so much, and then he matched up to the one hyper aggro that was there. And so I played against Cameron, and I 2-0'd him with my deck, which was exciting because if I had been playing red blue, I would have lost 100%. And I mean, I think some of it was like the first game, he played Amethyst Chromacon, so it drew me a lot of cards, which was awesome. And I was able to just like, I don't think he got very many daisies. It was mostly like the Lilos and the Maleficents, and those were pretty easy for my deck to take out. And then the second one, I think he got a little frustrated because I think overall, from because I've played Cameron before, I've played him red purple when he was playing, I think, red purple. And then I've also played him when he was playing amber steel and I was playing red blue. And that was one of the games we played where he almost wheeled me. And I luckily had 8 cards left and he had one less. I think he had one less ink than he needed to play another whole new world. So he wouldn't have wheeled me and I would have been fine, but it was very close. And so I think, I don't know, he just seems to be one of those guys that gets like upset when he starts losing. And I feel like that's just like sometimes a personality thing and maybe like also how much you care about the game and stuff. And I also knew he was playing yellow purple because prior to the tournament starting, he was like, oh, does anyone have a piglet I can borrow? And he bought a piglet that they had at the store, like a foil one. And so I was like, oh, he's probably either playing amber steel or he's playing red purple. So, or yellow purple. So the second game, I feel like there were some instances where he had like Baloos and then he didn't exert them. So then I could easily kill like his other high questing character. And I'm not sure why he did that. I don't know if it would have made a difference, honestly, in the end, but I don't think he played optimally. So I O2'd him. And then the next round, I matched into Mike, who we sometimes practice with. He was playing Amber Steel. And then I think I won a game, he won a game. Our last game went to turn. Yeah, our last game went to turns because we started with like, I think 5 minutes on the board. And honestly, if I had one more turn, I would have won. Oh, it was so close. And I think it was just because my deck is not a meta deck. And so then I spent a lot of time thinking because I was like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do against this color with this deck. I've literally played like 3 games with this deck so far. And then he was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do against your deck because I've never seen it before. I don't know what it does. I don't know what cards are in it. So then he was thinking a lot. And so we drew. And then, oh, sorry, that was round 4. Prior to that, round 3, I had played Gary. So a teammate. Gary is playing red purple. And he beat me 2-1. So I did get 1 game off of him. And I'm still kind of unsure how I'm supposed to play against red purple. So that's something for me to practice this week. And I think with some edits to the deck, it will be better against red purple. And I feel like red purple is on the up and up. Like more people are playing it. I thought Seattle would be a lot of red blue, but I feel like I've seen more red purple recently. And actually, the people who were originally on green steel for Texas, like those super secret Discord people, I don't think they're all on green steel anymore. I don't know. But I feel like I haven't really seen very much green steel at all. And so I played against Gary. He 2-1 me. And then I played Mike Amber Steel and we drew. And so because I got that bye in the first round, and then I played against Gary, who was I think undefeated going into round 4. I think he had one game where he drew. Oh yeah, he was undefeated going into round 4. So my tiebreakers were very good. And then I think Cameron going into round 4 he was like 6, so he was doing pretty good. And so when we drew, the top was Gary was 1, John, another red purple player, was 2, and then 3 was Cameron, hyper aggro, and then 4 was me. So because me and Mike drew, we were 7-7. And because I had the better tiebreakers, I won. And we had tried to do the math before to see if we could just draw and make it in, but I think like he wouldn't have made it in if we drew, so that's why we played it out. And so also I'm not good at that math. That's like a lot of, I would have to write it down, and I was like, you know what, let's just play. So then in quarterfinals, I matched up against Gary and Cameron matched up against John. So it was hyper aggro versus red purple, and then me versus red purple. And then hyper aggro won because I feel like it's pretty hard for red purple to win. And then me and Gary, I ended up winning the round. It was like, I think partly just luck, honestly. That's how I felt I got into finals set 3 also. It was like my top deck was good. And then in this case, I feel like it was kind of like my top deck was good and I got the cards that I needed. And then, so for finals, I played Cameron again. And I think he was not expecting to play me because Gary had beat me in Swiss. So he thought he was going to play Gary. And that would have been like a cakewalk for him, right? It would have been so easy because he's hyper aggro and Gary's red purple. But so then he was playing me and he was like, oh man. And I was just like, ha 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 ha. Yes, you have to play me. And so he was the higher seed, so he got to go first. And like when we were playing, Gary was like, can you beat him on the draw? And I was like, Gary, I 2-0'd him. And Gary was like, oh, okay, that's good. And so the first game I won, the second game he won, and I got like no lore. And then the third game I won, and it was like he had, I think, like 2 or 3 amethyst chromacons out. And so, okay, so the game, okay, let me think. I'm trying to remember. So the game that I lost was because I had, so he's playing hyper aggro, right? So I just need to flood the board with stuff to deal with his characters. And I had only like, I might as well say, I'm playing purple steel because it's not gonna, you're gonna know from the way it is. I had all bounce characters basically. So that's not helpful against hyper aggro. I needed all my like non-bounce characters. And so I think that's why I lost. But the third game, he had 2 amethyst chromacons on, which he drew off of for a long time. And so I had like so many cards in my hand. So I had all the answers I needed, any card I needed, I already had in my hand. And there were a bunch of cards that like I was gonna just take out of my hand, put to the side because I was like, I'm not gonna use this. Let me just put it to the side. Like cards that draw me cards. I don't need to draw more cards. I have so many. And I think the ending, yeah, so then I ended up winning. So I got the mat, got the card, and then while I was playing, Brian was opening up his like packs. I think we got, the pricing wasn't super good. It was like, I think you get like a pack for participation, and then you got pack per win in the top cut. So Brian opened his pack and he got a enchanted Clarabelle, which is very similar to what happened at Set Champs Set 3, where I was playing in the finals and he opened his participation packs. I think that time it was pack per win because it Games of Martinez, and he opened an enchanted Arthur. Brian has also one time opened up an enchanted Cinderella at a sealed, the set 4 one, not the set 1 one. And then I think one time I got an enchanted Yensid from pack per win for one of the constructed tournaments. So I was like, wow, this is like a repeat of set 3 where I'm playing in the finals and Brian is opening enchanteds. Just easy peasy from one pack. The other packs I got were not good. Anyways, so got the championship mat, got the championship card. I think both Gary and Tyler, they played at, so we all try to play at different competitions this set because we tend to match up against each other when we play at the same ones. A la last set where Tyler beat me out of the top 8 twice. And so I think they both have mats, 1 mats and cards because they played, the ones they happened to play at were pretty small and they're very good. So they crushed their competition. So yeah, we have a mat now for the house. It's going on the wall with the other mats. We have a card. We have an enchanted Clarabelle, which is just like bonus that pays for the entry fee at least. And then I think I'm going to play the same purple steel deck for Seattle. I mean, before I was like, oh, I want to play the meta deck because I want to win. I want to qualify. And now I'm just like, the meta deck is no longer bringing me joy, and I'm going to Marie Kondo it. And so I'm going to play a deck that brings me joy. And I think what brings me joy is partly playing spicy decks and surprising people. And like, if I could play my troll deck of Kakamora, Lady Tremaine, Aladdin, I would, because I'm in it for the fun. And like, I think before I was really set on trying to make it to North American Championships, and now I'm kind of like, it's okay if it doesn't matter if I don't make it. Like, I want to make it, that would be cool, but like, I know I don't have the time to grind and like really put in the hours, I think, to practice enough, especially because now I'm playing a new deck and I need to practice like at least the meta matchups. Hopefully I'll have time for that, but I'm not sure because I'm doing a lot of traveling this week and it's in like 5 days. So yeah, so I've decided I'm just here to have fun. I'm gonna bring my cards. I'm gonna trade for some enchanteds and cards that we want that we can play in our decks. Luckily for the deck I'm playing, like we already had all the foils. I was like, wow, it's because these foils don't sell because nobody else wants these cards. So yeah, so if you find us in Seattle, I'm gonna try. So I want to make new stickers. I kind of figured out a new way to make them that hopefully makes them more waterproof and look better. I need to make some more team shirts for us. I think last time I made the logo a little too big and it looks a little weird. So I'm trying to make like better looking ones. Oh, I did actually see a jersey team shirt that I liked. It was Ubaya Destine. Him and his son had these, they look like baseball jerseys, but they were like Hawaiian sunset. So it reminded me of this towel I had as a kid that was like a Hawaiian sunset. So like the blue, the orange, the pink. If you play Just Dance, there's like a saxophone song on there that has the same vibe. And I can't even think of the song right now. Oh, I think it's called Saxo Beat. Because when I try to think of a saxophone song, all I think of is the Squirtle playing saxophone. Not helpful. And so, and then it was like all bright colored, and then like so almost looked like a Hawaiian shirt or something. But it was a baseball jersey type shirt, and it had like the name. And then I thought because it was so obviously not a jersey looking jersey that I like the look of it. It's very bright. I don't think I would wear that because and more maybe shy. I wouldn't say shy, but kind of shy. I would say I'm more extroverted than Brian, but like I think I used to be way more extroverted and then life trauma. So now I'm more shy, but I don't think I would wear such a loud shirt. So I like kind of our just plain t-shirt with the little logo, demure, mindful. I don't even know if that's still a thing. I feel like that was so like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, but I like that jersey. That is like one of the few jerseys I've liked. But also maybe I liked it because like the people wearing it was like a I don't know if he's French or he has an accent. I don't think it's French. And I think I called him French, but I think he might be Spanish. I think he's Spanish actually. He's a Spanish accent. And then it's like his son. So they look adorable. So I think that maybe swayed my feelings about that jersey specifically. But yeah, so I did see a jersey I liked. I don't even know. Oh yeah, what I was talking about. I need to make more shirts is the thing. So I need to make more shirts and like I'm flying today to Vegas, drop my daughter off, and then I'm flying back Wednesday so that my parents can watch her while we're at Seattle. And then she's actually going to be there for a while. And then I keep referring here because she's sitting right here. She's gonna be there for like a few weeks too, so she can like play and swim in their swimming pool and spend some time with them. And then also hopefully my mom can potty train her. Anyways, life stuff, you know. And so then we'll get her on our way to Disneyland and we'll go to Disneyland. We'll get the cards for set six, which so many reveals. So I posted a video last week of the new cards up to that point. And since then, so many more cards. I don't think I'm going to be able to post a video this week just because of time. I'm going to spend that time practicing this new deck that I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this deck. I don't know what this deck is supposed to do. We found it online. I thought it was cool. I'm making some changes to try to make it a little better into red purple. And yeah, we'll see. So if you see us in Seattle, I will have stickers. They may be the old ones, they might be new ones, depending on time. And come say hi. The team will be there. We'll be wearing our team shirts every day because we're going to have more than just one shirt, so we won't be stinky. And yeah, I hope to see you guys there. Bring your trades. Come find me and trade like early because otherwise I'm going to end up trading with the store and getting not ripped off, but like a worse deal. I'm looking for I guess enchanteds and foils mostly, at least for set five. So my luck for set five has not been great in terms of enchanted pulls. I mean, it's been the standard, like what is supposed to be normal, but normally my luck is like way better than normal. So I'm like, oh, it sucks. So we're looking for a lot of enchanteds for set five. I think we have all of the green ones, but we're still missing like all the purple ones, all the steel ones, a bunch of yellow, and a bunch of red. I think red we're missing Donald Duck. That might be the only one. And so come find me. Let's trade. And everyone, good luck in Seattle. And I think after Seattle, I will definitely share my deck list. I'll let you guys know how I did. And we are going to go to North American Championships, even if we don't qualify. We already like booked the hotel because it would be a cool vibe. I get to see like Lorcana famous people. And I'm such a creeper. So like at Texas, so like oh my gosh, it's kind of embarrassing. So like Edmund and Judy, right? They practice with Ed, the winner of Texas Fort Worth. And so like they know a bunch of people, and then like Ed has been on the podcast with Zan, so they know each other. And then I just like creepily would be like talking to Judy and Ed, and then I would like they would go talk to some other people and I would just stare. I was so creepy. And then at one point I was staring at the sky and I was like, he looks so familiar. Who is he? Who is he? And I realized I was staring at the rat. So the guy who won Chicago? No. He didn't win Atlanta. That was the lawyer dude. People whose names I don't remember. The lawyer dude who played like the Perdita deck. And then the next one was the rat who played Green Steel. I think his name is Brian. But like I was looking at him and he was so familiar looking. And then like I was like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And it took me like days, like afterwards, where I was like, oh, it was the rat. I was just creepily staring and I was like, do I say hi? And like, hey, I'm a fan, but I don't really remember who you are right now, but you look very familiar. I'm such a creep. So I'm gonna try to be better and actually like introduce myself to people. That is my goal for Seattle. It is no longer like qualify for championships. My goal is like be less awkward, introduce yourself to people, and don't just stare and be normal. Be normal. So yeah, if you see me, come say hi. I promise I'm normal, sort of. And as always, keep shuffling. Hopefully you don't end up with a whole handful of uninkables like me. All right, bye.